What is up, everybody? My name is Jacob with Digital Gate Studios. Today I'm joined by Jesse.
Hello.
And we are going to be bringing you what is probably my favorite deck I have played in Digimon.
Deck is terrifying.
And that's going to be the same old Minervamon, but with a new edition of Mervamon.
Yep.
Came out of BT11 just recently. And this deck went from good to just absolutely nuts.
I didn't realize how many pieces you actually got. So we talked about it on your last video. If you haven't checked out that video, that's a really good video too. But how many new pieces? Like when I played against you, I was like, oh, I'm just going to have to deal with the Mervamon, right? But no. There's more.
There's more. We'll get into it. But
yeah.
I mean, it's only a small whandful of cards. Wouldn't think it would make as much of a difference as it did, but it's huge. All right. So those of you who have seen the Minerva Loop video, a lot of it's coming back, but with some fine-tuning and some changes from old cards and mostly new cards. So get into that. Same eggs as always for Minervamon.
Best egg in purple.
Best egg in purple. Unless you're playing Beezlemon, and even then, I don't see why you'd play anything.
Or the
else.
Mastamon, right? Because they run the Nightmares.
Yeah.
Other than that, but yeah, Demi
dedicated eggs, sure. But for general, Demimare all the time.
Yep.
Sticking with the constant 4-ofs for purple. For Gabumon coming out of BT2 on deletion, draw 2, trash 1. Not a lot to say, all about card advantage. This is a combo deck. You need cards in hand, you need cards in trash. There's both of those. So huge. We're going to see a lot of draw and trash for this list. But our first new card from BT11, that's going to be Ignitemon.
Oh, God.
Nobody believed me on how good this card was going to be when I talked about this after spoilers.
Yeah.
Because it does everything you need in purple.
It was so good in pre-release, too.
Yeah, in pre-release, it's good in this deck. It's good in cross. It's good in just general purple.
I played a Mastamon deck last night at Locals that played it.
Yep. So inheritable when a Digimon's played by an effect, gain a memory. This is absolutely insane. It's an all turns effect as well. So it just makes all of your combos for any purple deck cheaper. And honestly, the better effect that nobody believed me was going to be good. When attacking, delete one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended at the same level.
Yeah.
Even if you don't delete anything, having the option to delete one of your bodies is just so good in purple. I mean, how often have you seen an Eismon attack and the joke is it has jamming, right? It never dies. But you want it dead, so then you attack with your Ignitemon, kill it, or whatever you need on deletion.
Well, not only that, but you still get the check with the Ignitemon.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best
you
part.
always get the check, and it's great. It's just such good removal in addition to the memory. And another important thing, it is a cross hard. It can be played in cross off of the cross level 2s, but that's less relevant here. Moving on, we have 2 copies of Psychmon. This used to be a one-of for me, I believe. But with this set, Revival of Digicross, so a lot more people are going to be playing it now.
Yeah.
So we're playing a little bit more of things to stop it. However, you don't want to go too heavy on these because there are times where we're reducing our own play costs as well. Not as important, obviously, but it does happen. Then just a one-of Gazimon. Love this new campaign art. Absolutely gorgeous. But memory deniers can't ever go wrong with those. 2-in-1 doesn't seem like a lot, but it's really nice. Purple recycles so heavily.
I was going to say purple. Like you can play one of and just use it over and over.
I mean, typically you're just trashing these to your Gabumon and then just grabbing them when you need them.
Yeah.
Is really how it goes most of the time. But I mean, worst case scenario, you're putting them on your eggs. If for rookies, only 11. Getting into our champions are level 4s. Always 4 Eismon for these decks. Draw 3, trash 2. I mean,
it's so strong.
So strong. And I mean, not a lot to say about that, but you can't play one without the other. So we got our one of Eismon. The reason this card's restricted, if you're not abusing it, fix yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just so much. It's so much filter, right? Like it's draw 3, trash 2, and then with the Gabu underneath it and the Demimare underneath that. I mean, what is it total? Like draw 6, trash 3,
4.
Yeah,
4.
So 4. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's so good. You're net gaining cards plus the cards you got for Digivolving, and then if you ever get the Eismon, every time it gets your opponent, right? It's the one of. You almost never see it.
Yeah.
When you get it, it just feels so good because they never see it coming.
Yeah, extra body for free.
Then another new card, BT11. Absolutely in love with this is this Soulmon.
That card, that's the one I was talking about. That thing is crazy.
So great thing, it's retail, and it gives everything with retail all turns plus 2K.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a lot. Honestly, the first time I read this, I'm like, why would I play this when the other one says on deletion, draw one, trash one, right? We want more consistency. It's almost another Izemon. But then I played this one just to see what it would do. And I mean, you play it, it's a 6K. You have two of them, they're both 8s. They buff Minervamon because she has retail.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely insane, and you really don't need that much more card draw than we already have. So just pushing the bounds can be nice. If you want to go up to a 5th or a 6th, then definitely put in, the Dark Rizamon as a 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
Thought about it. I can't find the room.
No, and I mean, that's kind of always been like one of the things that purple doesn't have typically is like big DP, right?
Oh yeah, but this
now you do. Yeah.
I mean, I've actually, killed other 6Ks with Minerva and survived, which, normally you're like, okay, well, I'll just retail, but like you can almost actually get your Minerva bigger than Black War sometimes, and that's a lot more relevant than it.
Yeah, they're just like little ghosts with death touch, right?
Yeah. So Black War can prevent retaliation because it's an effect, cannot prevent deletion by battle.
Yes.
So giving Minerva plus 2K, plus 4K can be really good. That's going to be it for our level 4s. For level 5s, can't go wrong with Cerberus and Cerberus Werewolf. So this is a 4-3 split this time.
This is your trash to delete to gain 9.
Yep. Yeah. So for those who don't know, haven't seen our last videos, haven't seen me pilot this deck, gain 9 for this, delete this to gain 9 back as the on play. If you can ever play this for free and still activate on play effects, you delete a Cerberus Mon, you gain 9 memory. So if you only paid, 3, 4, 5 memory for it, you're gaining all that back.
Yep.
And then on deletion, draw 2, trash 1. It's just more card setup. They're both 3 to evolve, so they're not hard to play.
Yeah.
We're down to old list was 4-4 split. Now we're down to a 4-3 just to kind of free up some space.
Yeah.
Still pretty consistent.
I know it's kind of confusing, like on paper, what that looks like, but we have awesome gameplay video of his other the Minerva list that actually has that happens all the time, so we'll be able to kind of see that explained. We're gonna do some more gameplay videos, but if you want to see that happen and see him gain 9 memory for free, make sure you check that video out. I think we played this against my security control. They're very long games, but it's really crazy to see it in action. So if you're confused on that, on how he just nets memory without spending memory, check out that video.
There are actually a lot more ways than you'd think. We'll talk about some of them later. The important thing is on play, if you can delete a Cerberus, do it, gain the memory, always worth it. There's just no reason not to. Yeah. So then a one of, this has been in my list since Loop days and is not coming out anytime soon. That's going to be one of Loosemon Chaos Mode.
Yeah.
Right now, Tamer decks are kind of in a weird spot, right? Because Black War's just got so much removal for them.
Yeah.
So their options either just to play more or play less. Those are the
2
ways people are going.
This card came out when there was a governor on that thing, and they're like, you're only gonna be able to delete 1 Tamer at a time, and now it's just the door is off.
I mean, card's still great removal. It's not too expensive of a play cost for what it is, and it's still
especially
a 12
enough cards in trash.
Yeah, it gets cheaper for every 10. So this ain't coming out anytime soon for me. If you haven't tried it out, definitely give it a shot if you can. I love it. That's going to be it for our 5s. For 6s, 4 of one of the best purple cards that we've gotten in a while. That's going to be Minervamon. Once again, take a look at our old Minerva list if you have any questions on this. But important things, retaliation. Opponent's turn, when they play a Digimon, you get to play level 4 or lower from trash for free. Typically, that's going to be Gazi or Psychmon if they're going to be trying to gain memory or reduce play costs. Or it's going to be Soulmon, so you can get bigger retaliation dudes, or, even Izemons if you're going to need the card draw the following turn by swinging with it. But the best part of it, on deletion, if your opponent has 2 or less Digimon, which, not as often do they have more than that in this format, but we have ways to make sure they don't. If they have 2 or less Digimon, on deletion, you will play level 5 or lower, or a Mervamon. And in the past, the only thing this would ever do would be to bring out Cerberusmon Werewolf to delete a Cerberus to gain memory. Now that we have Mervamon, we still have the same combo in place. Still a fantastic way to apply pressure and gain memory. But let's talk about Mervamon and why getting to play this for free is absolutely nuts.
You delete a level 6 to play a level 6.
Right. So your 6 dice, you play a level 6. This card does a couple of things. I'm going to go over it just because it's a new card.
Yeah.
Digicross reduces play cost by 3. It costs 8. Now, that's still a steep play cost, but Minerva will play it for free. That's huge. Then, what it does is, on play or when Digivolve, you're going to play 1 level 4 or lower purple or Crossheart. Not playing Crossheart, so we're going to stick to purple. one level 4 lower purple from your trash without paying its cost. If you Digicrossed, you're going to play 2 things. Important thing to note. Digicross does not require playing it from hand or paying the cost. It says reduce the play cost, but you can do it off effect. So when Minerva dies, you can play a Merva Digicrossing it. And then you're going to get to play 2 bodies. So typically, if you can, that's going to be 2 Soulmons or a Soulmon and Ignitemon. And the reason for that is retail or the removal side of the Ignite. The other great thing about this card, all turns everything with either Crossheart or Retaliation gains Rush and Blocker. Huge, right?
It's so scary.
Soulmon gains Rush and Blocker and has retail. Ignitemon gains Rush and Blocker. You can rush with it for removal. I mean, there's so many routes to go at this point that the deck gets absolutely in. The other thing too, just to keep in mind, this can Digicross from things in trash too as sources. So I mean, if your trash is literally just an Ignitemon, 2 Soulmons, and a Merva, and your Minerva dies, you're playing all of that for free, and it's crazy. So, yeah, and I mean, if you have the Ignitemon, you're gaining a memory back off the inheritable. This does so much. I can't go over all of the things you can do. We're going to have to get you guys some gameplay.
Yeah.
But this deck, it just goes so hard. And compared to its old iterations, it is a lot more explosive. But still has just as much setup. I absolutely love it. Finishing off our Digimon. I know it's not a lot of Digimon, but you can't go wrong with 49+1 Death X.
Okay.
Made that joke every time I put this down, and I've never thought about taking it out. The card is in a weird spot, right? Like I said, decks are either playing less Tamers or more, which is going to make this more or less relevant in certain matchups. But, I mean, just its on play and its end of opponent's turn effects are huge. Worst case scenario, you're stripping off the X antibodies off their black words every turn. That way you can try to retell it.
Well, depending how your locals are, there's always someone that shows up with Bloom Lord or D Brigade, or there's always at least 1 or 2 wide format players. Crossheart, there's always wide format players that show up. So it's always nice to have one of those at least in your deck. Yeah,
it's in a weird spot right now, but being purple, we can recycle it. I think it's an easy one of. Don't necessarily need more.
Yeah, and if they do, like, it's good that you're playing purple, because if they do something like a Psychmon or something like that to try and prevent it, you can still Digivolve it on top if you need to get that wide removal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've talked enough about that over and over again, so let's get on to the rest of it. 4 of Revive from Darkness, another card coming from Minerva Loop from last format. If you haven't seen what it does, check out the gameplay videos. This card's absolutely insane, but it's delete one of your 5s. Delete one of your Digimon to play level 5 or lower from trash. You do not get on plays for this effect. The bread and butter combo would be deleting Minervamon, playing a level 5, and then Minerva plays either a level 5 or a Mervamon. So the old combo was the option will play the Cerberus, the Minerva will play the Werewolf, and you'll gain 9 memory back, net gaining a total of 5 above where you were. And it's still in there for the memory gain, and it's absolutely insane. But what's even better now is deleting your Minerva to this. You can play a Cerberus Werewolf. You don't get the on play, but it still has Rush. Then you play Merva. It brings out 2 bodies, and you're going 1 into 4.
Yeah,
for
it's
4
crazy.
memory. So the deck goes nuts with it. Helping with having the memory to do that, we're going to play 2 copies of Jack Raid. I would not go any higher than this. Honestly, I wouldn't mind going lower, but when you need it, you need it. Good to have. So security effect's always fun.
One of those back pocket cards, right?
It really is. Yeah, I'm loving it as a 2 of. I wouldn't go any higher. I had it as a 3 of at first, and it just felt too cloggy. I mean, you end up just trashing them to effects anyway. Then, very important 1 of Calling from Darkness. Delete one of your Digimon. Bring out 2 purple Digimon from trash. Put them back in your hands. So that's going to be easy way of grabbing Mervamon if you ever just have to hard play it. Sometimes you do have to do that just to get your 3 blockers out on board. I mean, you can grab your Loosemon for the plays. You can grab your Death X. Just so many options, so versatile.
There's a reason it's restricted.
Definitely play it. Then we got a 1 of Pandemonium Flame. Kind of went back and forth on if I was going to include this card. It was in my Minerva list, but we did go down a little bit on options for this iteration. But this is delete one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponents unsuspended with level less than or equal to. The reason this is really good is if you delete your Minerva, you can delete up to an unsuspended level 6, which is going to hopefully bring them at 2 or less Digimon to trigger the Minerva on deletion effect. And I mean, out of security, it just deletes anything unsuspended. So it's another great pocket card, pocket spot removal. It can do a lot. This can be a Deathclaw, but I think having the option of going higher than level 6 in this format where most people aren't going wide, I mean, it's just one extra memory. I think it's worth it overall.
Yeah.
And then another card coming out of from all the way back when I was playing Loth Loop. This is another thing not coming out. That's going to be Dead or Alive. Play level 5 or lower from trash. I mean, paying 8 to bring out a Cerberus, then deleting a Cerberus to gain 9. So you're net gaining 1 there, or playing a Loosemon for the removal, or activating this out of security. You can get the 9 off the Cerberus combo too. That way, I have passed turn to me at 7 that way before.
That's nuts, yeah.
It always pisses people. I love it.
And then that game is just over. Yeah.
Now, this next card, I'm going to talk about a little bit because I did not think I was ever going to play this card in any deck, and that is Purple Memory 3 of.
Yeah, because purple has so many different memory boosts.
There's that, and purple just, you want stuff in trash, right? So you think, oh, play Mist Boost, play Analog Youth. And these were Analog Youth, all 3 of these. But just, Wargrave just kills them all. Death X is too cheap with them. And, I mean, with the way this deck runs, you just want to get your Minerva and let it die at some point. Get your Merva in hand and trash it to one of your effects so that it's ready to go. And most importantly, tracking that boost so you can go to 3 to digivolve into your Minerva, or go to 4 so you can use your Revive from Darkness, turn your 1 body into 4. This card has done me so much work. It is not coming out, and I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, so give it a shot if you're not. I did not like Mist Boost in this spot. I tried it first, and I hated it because it always mills
something
I mean, we play so many out. It always mills your Revive from Darkness every time. You get sad. Finishing off the deck list, just 2 copies of Matt. Like I said, Tamers are in a weird spot right now, so you're either playing less or you're playing more, so you can still have some after the deletions. In this case, we're going less. Analog Youth is just free, kill for them.
Yeah, Hades Force can kill, 6 Analog Youths?
Yeah. I mean, so Matt has a fantastic on-play, grab something from trash. You're going to use it every chance you get.
Yeah, it grabs anything in your deck, right?
Literally everything in your
deck, other than another Matt, right?
I mean, yeah, right. Yeah, because you can grab Tamers, right? I had to think about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can grab anything you'd ever want as the on-play, and if that's all you get, it's still worth it as a card. But being able to go to 3 consistently is really nice because, like I said, you need the memory for this deck, and we have ways of gaining it between the Jack Raid and the Cerberus combos.
And the memory boosts, yeah.
Yep, and the boosts. So we have ways of getting the memory, but if you can start at 3, you're just already so much closer because that's 1 boost, go to 5, revive, now I'm at 1, getting 4 bodies out of trash. And the deck just goes absolutely wide out of nowhere very quickly. It'll take your opponents by surprise first time they see it. I promise you that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see if we can get you guys some gameplay this
Yeah, we'll get you some gameplay soon. Promise.
I can't tell you everything that's in this deck in terms of combos, but there's so much.
Yeah, it just goes and it goes and it goes. All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. We'll see you next time.